Well, welcome again to the battlefields of Culloden. For them people who follow my channel, you'll realise that last year I was here about the same time, daft as it seems. That was in the wheelchair, doing the 1,300 miles in a wheelchair from Land's End to the last inhabited island in the UK, 1,300 miles and nothing else but a sleeping bag, bivvy bag and 2 sets of clothes. And I came past here about the same time last year, as I said, along the road which actually just about in that tree line across there. Quite beautiful scenery, as you can see. Highlands in the background there. More Highlands, should I say, because we're already in the Highlands. So yes, I came along that last year and stumbled across the battlefield at Culloden. Came for a brief look, and I'm back here now on my second on the Caledonian Quest to show you more detail, maybe, the battlefield of Culloden. I was, the first time round, I was pretty much writing my Bash Boy version of historical, well, basically what took part here. If you look across there, you can see the red flags. That's the, that's the government lines. Let's put the government lines, right, we'll keep it all nice and simple. And way over in the background, well, not so much in the background, they're not that far away, to be quite honest with you. You could probably chuck a stick up on another. Yeah, blue flags, and that's the Jacobite lines. So basically they're looking at one another. Aye. Aye. Apparently in the Jacobite case they like to lift the kilts and show the backsides, but there you go, that's another story. Right, so basically on this side of the lines you've got the government forces with the cannons and muskets, and pretty much well drilled. They've already been used to fighting abroad, especially against the French. We have quite a lot of loving for fighting Frenchies, but there you go. Most of them well drilled, as I say, Cumberland's forces, quite battle hardened in a way, very good with using their cannon, which unfortunately the Jacobites weren't very good at drilled, or they were just groups of clansmen, basically, well, I've got to say, basically it's a load of farmers. They're coming to battle against a well-drilled army, and what basically took part here was nothing less than a massacre. Within the course of 45 minutes, 1,500 Jacobites were laid dead, and 50 government force redcoats were killed. The odds weren't good, were they? You can't use broadswords against muskets and cannon, but there you go. And after the battle, the redcoats of the government forces, they dished out some pretty horrific repentance to the Jacobite army, or the Jacobite sympathisers. Basically it was just a government rebellion about basically religion. It's back to the old Catholics, Protestants, and that's what it's about. Wanting a Catholic king or a Protestant king. The Bonnie Prince Charlie, that all this was the raising of this army and coming to well, we're not going to call it a defeat, this massacre here. Obviously we went off the field crying, hid in the Highlands for 5 months, and eventually decided to take a ship back to Italy, followed by one of the clansmen saying, "Run, you cowardly Italian." No, brethren, just another little shot from the Culloden battlefield. Got this little cottage behind me, you can't see much of it. Oh, you can now, I've moved it, good man. Right then, little cottage in the middle of the battlefield here. Just giving it a brief look around. We'll go on a little look inside here. I might have just used my mobile for camera when I get inside. But, beautiful day to visit Culloden battlefield, and we'll move on from here. And we're very much now on the side of the government forces, and if you can see there's a red flag that I've just shown you, and there is another red flag just over there. So this will be the lines of the government forces. We're on quite nice ground here, and we're kind of not looking down over anything. Mostly it's fairly flat moorside. This would have been very boggy ground. You can probably get an idea now. A very boggy ground that the basically the Jacobites tried to run across to engage the government forces. So you can sort of get the idea of the sort of ground that they were going across, whereas behind me we've got pretty much nice fields and everything on this side of the lines. You can see there's another flag there marking the battle line. So from there to over in the distance there are the government forces, and pretty much in this marshland, some flat land across there, are the Jacobites. Jacobites, most of them got lost overnight. They were trying to do a bit of a sneaky one, sneaking up on the government forces. Didn't quite work. Most of them got lost. They decided daylight had come. They hadn't managed to get anywhere near the government forces, so they came back to Culloden Moor and ended up getting involved in this little skirmish here, which in 45 minutes left 1,500 dead and 50 dead, which I'm actually on the gravestone of the 50 dead of the government forces. We'll go and have a last little look around. So on a little tour of the battle site. This is the cairn marking the Jacobite burial. Now this was never actually erected till later on, maybe 100 years later. Where they were actually buried, and this was not done till later, was on this side of the road here. And you can see there's all like you've got to look carefully, but there's various little stones marking each clan, supposedly each clan, all the way along this road. The reason this was done like this was literally the road at one time. I know it looks like a footpath now, but it is a footpath now. But this would have been the road then to Nessa, where the government forces were camped out overnight. So they had quite a clean little run up here to this battlefield, whereas we've already discussed what happened on the Jacobite side of things. So yeah, these stones are marking supposedly the different clans from the Highlands that died on this part of the moor. Remember, this is a religious war. Don't think about this as Scots and English. It certainly is not. English fought on both sides, Scots fought on both sides, the Hanoverians, Germans, Germany wasn't invented then, Hanoverians, all sorts of nationalities, even one American was on the Jacobite side. So it was no one war, it was simply a war of religion. You can quite plainly see, looking back towards the British lines, you just see through the trees, it cuts in half, and we'll go towards the Jacobite side of the battlefield, and we'll have a quick little look at that. So we're basically now in the middle of the battlefield. See the red flags just in the distance at that side. The beautiful countryside in the background. of Culloden, or above Culloden Moor, part of Culloden Moor, and eventually then you can start and see the very nice people here, the Jacobites side of the line. In between, marshland. We saw one side of the field was grassland, and this side is, even to this day, the trees wouldn't have been here, but this would have been marshland. Interestingly, you would only get to one part of this side of the battlefield because there's housing development over half the field. I wonder if the Jacobites will come back to haunt the new owners of the houses. Anyway, I pan back round again, and I don't know if you can see that there. It gives you roughly my position in the middle, the lines of each and the bog in between. So basically, just a last little pan round. Yeah, I just hope you like your little videos on our little Jacobarian uprisings and the Battle of Culloden. I think I got most of my history right this time. I don't think I was far off last time, for them people that remembered me coming up the coast last time. Last time when I had finished up here, I was on my way to the Black Isle, which is just behind me somewhere, and further up into Scotland. But that's it for now, for the time being, and I'm going back to my boat in Inverness. And I hope you've enjoyed it. I must apologise for something though. I remarked earlier about an American. Of course he wasn't American, just like Germany wasn't invented at this particular time. Neither was America. It was a colonialist. Okay? Sorry for my mistake.